to install the Steam CMD dedicated server, which will allow you to run your own dedicated server in Linux, in this case Ubuntu, which you'll be able to run games such as Counter-Strike 1.6, Counter-Strike Source, Day of Defeat, and all the other vast amount of games they run on the Steam CMD network. So let's not waste any time. As you can see, I'm using Ubuntu 14.04 LTS, codename Trusty. This guide will work on 12.04, 11.04, 10.04 I think, and so on. So I'm going to label the video 14.04, but if you haven't got that version, then this should work as well. If it doesn't, let us know in the comment and I can adjust what I say and whatnot. So let's not waste any time, let's jump straight in. So as you can see, I've logged into Ubuntu. The first thing we want to do is run sudo apt-get update, type in my password, and let that do it. It's not actually updating, all that's doing is making sure it's got the latest repository update. So when you do run an update, it's getting the latest version. So as so to speak, it's not downloading any updates, it's just updating the library of the updates. But anyway, that's now done. So the next command we want to do is, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that you've got everything I'm doing. So I've done an upgrade previously, but by all means do this. Sudo apt-get upgrade. So you might have a vast amount of upgrades to do. Just let it go, normally takes about 5 minutes. Now the next thing we need to install is a thing called lib32 gcc1 and another application called libc6 i386. Now a lot of guides on the internet say to install ia32lib. Do not install that, there's absolutely no need. It'll just bloat your Ubuntu up, so don't install that. All you need to do is sudo apt-get install lib32 gcc1 and then space libc6 libc6 underscore hyphen even i386. And what this does is allows us to run, because the dedicated server supplied by Steam is actually 32-bit, so as with Ubuntu server it's 64-bit. So when you run the sh file later on, you'll get an it'll say does not recognize or something like that. So if we install this, we'll get rid of that error. So let's install those. Okay, fantastic, that's done. I'm going to clear the screen, keep it nice and tidy. Now the next thing we want to do is sudo add user Steam. The reason we add a user is we don't really want to run Steam on a user within the sudo group, which allows administration rights, and we also don't want to do it on root. So we're going to add a user, I'm going to add a password. You can even go one step further. I won't cover it in my guide, but you can also make sure that a Steam user can't log in via SSH and FTP if need be. But anyway, so that's done. When it asks for the full name, you don't need to enter all that. Is this correct? Perfect. So that's added. Let's clear that screen. Now what we want to do is log in via that user. So su Steam. Type in our password. Now, as you can see, I'm still in the home directory of tests, which is another user account, so I need to come out of that. Just do cd space dot. So we go upper level, do ls, we can see Steam, so cd Steam. Now what we want to do is make a folder, so mkdir Steam CMD. Now what we want to do is download the platform Steam CMD. So first of all, we need to go into our folder we just created. So Steam CMD. We want to type wget http://media.steam-powered.com/installer/steam cmd_linux.tar.gz. Hopefully I remembered that. Fantastic, that's downloaded. So if I do an ls, yep, we now see that folder, file even. So let's clear that. Now what we want to do is extract that zip file, which is tar space hyphen xvzf space steam cmd underscore, no, what have I done? There we go. Steam cmd underscore linux dot tar dot gz. Thought it looked weird. So let's run that. As you can see, that extracted nice and fine. So let's do ls. Yep, you can see. So let's remove Steam CMD now. Just to keep it nice and tidy. .tar.gz. So rm will remove. Now what we want to do, ls, make sure that's removed. Let's clear it. Let's run the Steam CMD. So /steam cmd.sh. That will download any updates it needs to do. Okay, fantastic. Now you'll notice at the bottom here, it hasn't actually, it's now saying Steam. This is because we're now in the Steam CMD console. So we can do some commands. So the first thing we want to do is log in, type login space anonymous. I believe some games do require you to log in via a proper authentication, but the games will be adding do not. So let's do that. Login anonymous. And there we go, connecting anonymously to the Steam public, successful. So fantastic. So what we want to do now is install the dedicated Counter-Strike Global Offensive dedicated server for Linux. The way we do this, we need to first specify a directory for where our download is going to go. So we're going to go force_install_dir space dot /. You can name it anything you want. So I'm going to name it CSGO. So CSGO. Push enter. And now what we need to do is download the server-side files for our dedicated server. So the way we do that is app_update space the ID of the applications, which in this case for Global Offensive it's 740, and space it and type validate so we can validate as we download. Now if you are in a data center hosting this, then it will be fast. If you're home broadband, if you're using home broadband, sorry, and it's quite slow, then this process will take some time. I've got 100 Mbits. It normally takes about 20 minutes, depending on how fast Steam servers are going at. But I'm not going to make you wait. I'm going to pause the video and resume when it's done. So that download is now complete, which was just over 7.3 gigabytes. We now need to quit out a Steam console, so type quit. Let's clear the screen, keep it nice and clear, and let's see what we've got. So as you can see, we've now got a CSGO folder. Let's go into that because that is where the file we need to run. So do an ls inside there. Now to run our server, all we need to do is do a /srcds _run space -game, and we need to specify the game is CSGO, which is Counter-Strike Global Offensive, space console space -usercon plus game type 0 plus game mode 0 plus map group. Now you can look up these commands online. These are just some ones I know off the top of my head. mapgroup underscore mg bomb plus map ddusk. So press enter. Hopefully that will run without any serious errors. And setting up your own configuration, you can find that on Google and specify your own. But as far as the server is now running on the public IP address, as you can see. VAX secure mode is activated, and that is it. Your server is now running. I'll briefly cover opening ports. Now the Steam dedicated server does use some ports. Ubuntu comes with the ports open, so we don't need to worry about that. If you're running it in a data center, you're pretty much good to go and have fun. If you are running a home server and you do have a router such as a Netgear, D-Link, Buffalo, BT Infinity, Home Hub, etc., we need to open those ports. So the first thing we need to do is type in ifconfig. We can see that that is my internal IP address. So I then want to head over to my browser and log into the router, which I have done so. Now you're looking for something like NAT, or it might be in security depending on what brand of router you got. In this case I'm using WD-WRT, and what we want to find is port range forwarding. Now I've already entered this in, which is Steam CMD. You can name it anything you want. Not all routers allow you to name it. Some of them even have the profile half-life, which most of the times opens the necessary ports. So if you don't have that option, we want to open 27,000 to 27,040 protocol both, and type in the IP address off the internal local machine. If you've got a checkbox, make sure you click it, click save, and click apply settings. After that, you should be ready to go and have fun. I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.